we have been discussing about how within the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj, there are so many wonderful devotees appeared and they ruled over the entire Bhumandala and attained successful destination. Just like Dhruva Maharaj went to Dhruvaloka, like that many of his descendants also attained the same Dhruvaloka and they are assisting Dhruva Maharaj in the maintenance of the entire universe. So in that lineage, there was one king named Anga. Somehow, because he has done some sinful activity in one of his previous lives, as a result of that, he could not have a child. And more than that, in this life, he also married Sunita, who is from Asura dynasty, the daughter of Mrityu. So he was trying to perform a Ashwamedha Yajna, but none of the Devatas have come and accepted the oblations. When he inquired what is the reason, they said, Raja, some sin was there, that's why you could not beget children. Since you did not have children, the Devatas are not willing to accept your oblations, since you are not complete. Okay, then what to do? So let us worship Lord Vishnu, by whose blessings we'll have a son. So they worship Lord Vishnu. By the blessings of Lord Vishnu, he had a son. One Yajna personified came with a kheer. He took the kheer and smelled it and gave it to his wife, and his wife bore a child and gave birth to the child in the course of time. But unfortunately, that child, hmm, possessing the traits of his mother's lineage, Sunita's lineage, that means Adharma lineage, he was very cruel minded and adharmic person. While playing itself, he would kill the classmates, the playmates. He would go to forest for no reason. He would kill so many innocent animals. Hmm? And like that, people used to be afraid. And father and mother tried to correct him so many ways. Ultimately, one day, father decided, I think this is the will of the destiny. Initially, thought that it is better not to have a son instead of having such a bad son. The people who did not have son, they must have satisfied the Supreme Lord. That's why they did not have a bad son. And finally he said, I think it is Lord's blessing that he want to take me out of the material entanglement. That's why he has given me bad son so that I'll become detached as early as possible. Seeing that I am too attached to this material world, the Lord gave me bad son. That is Lord's blessing in disguise. So accepting his Lord's mercy, in one of the night, he left home. He changed his clothes into simple clothes and left home, unnoticed by anybody. Next morning, when the queen came to know that husband is not seen, she informed the ministers and others. They are all searching all over. He was inside the city only, did not leave the city. Somewhere he is hiding himself inside the city, while everyone went all around and searched and came back and they reported, no, we could not find anywhere. Then he went out. He is intelligent. So then, as soon as he went, there was no king. The entire country is infested with so many robbers. They're coming and doing robbery, theft, etc. So, understanding the need of the hour, the sages, though the minister said no, though the mother said no, though everyone said no, none of the citizens accepted, but still they said, no, no, we should have a king. So, they made Vena the king. After they made Vena the king, Vena himself is super robber. The people are afraid of the thieves. From outskirts, they would come to palace, and when they come to palace, the king would steal everything they have. So they had problem both the sides. From outskirts, the thieves are attacking. Inside, the king is attacking. But even thieves are afraid of king. If king catches us, he will torture us so much. So they were hiding themselves. And king was traveling all over the world, conquering every king. And he proclaimed that no one should perform any yajna. No one should read any shastra. If at all you want to perform yajna, you should worship me. You should perform yajna in my name. If at all you want to read the shastra that glorifies me. Something like that. He put so many orders. Does not allow anybody to do any religious activities. Then the sages were considering, hey, what is this? We thought he will change. He will become responsible by making him king. But he became so adamant and so cruel and so torturous. So we need to give him good counsel. If he does not listen, we should destroy him. Because he is not allowing us to perform yajna, what we our daily rituals which we are used to do. So it has come all the way up to us. So they went and they tried to give him good counsel. So my dear king, it is a duty of the king to follow dharma and institute dharma so that everyone will follow. Especially when one performs dharma, one's own prescribed duties with complete detachment, such a person will attain liberation. If not, even if one follows dharma, they will get long life, wealth, name, fame, strength, all material opulences they will get. By executing dharma, one gets all the material appliances. If one executes dharma with complete detachment, one attains liberation. Both the ways it is good for you. Therefore, please, you yourself worship Lord Vishnu and you engage all the Brahmanas and all the citizens in the worship of Lord Vishnu by organizing big yajnas. This is good for you and good for the country. As soon as the king heard that, he could not take any of these words. He responds now. He responds so strongly, by which the sages become angry. So that we will see today. So we have completed till 22nd verse in the last class and we'll continue from 23rd verse. What was the reply of Vena? How did he respond having heard the sages saying that, my dear king, please serve Lord Vishnu? I think last Sunday, all of us have celebrated Narsingha Chaturthi, the appearance of Narsingha Dev in order to protect Lord Prahlad Maharaj and liberate Hiranyakashipu. Same thing. Hiranyakashipu point was same. I am the Jagadishwara. There is no Jagadishwara. Prahlad says no. There is Supreme Lord Vishnu. There is a competition. Same way here. The sages are saying the Lord is the Supreme Lord. When I saying I am the Supreme Lord. The sages are saying Lord should be worshipped by the performance of yajna. He says I should be worshipped by the performance of yajna. Same mentality. So let us see. Vena uvacha.
वेण उवाच
Bhalisha bata yuyam va.
आलीसवत युवं वा
Adharme dharma manina.
अधर्मे धर्ममानिनः
Ye vritti dampatim hitva.
विवृतिदं पतिं हित्वा
Jaram patim upasate.
जारं पतिम् उपासते. Translation: King Bena replied, "You are not at all experienced. It is very much regrettable that you are maintaining something which is not religious and are accepting it as religious. Indeed, I think you are giving up your real husband who maintains you and are searching after some paramour to worship."
When the sages are trying to teach him the essence of the Vedic literatures, now king is teaching the sages what is the essence of the Vedic literatures. He says, "Oh fools, oh ignorant, you accept what is adharma as dharma." That means worshipping Vishnu is adharma, and you are accepting that adharma as dharma. Giving up the husband who maintains you, you worship an illicit lover. So the king is the husband of all the citizens. All the citizens are supposed to serve their master and husband, king. Giving up my service, you want to serve Lord Vishnu as your paramour. A wife supposed to serve the husband, not the paramour. But all of you are simply following adharma, that giving up the service of husband, you are trying to serve the paramour. What kind of dharma you are following? Like that, the king says, I am your maintainer. If I forbid you to pluck fruits or roots, you all will die immediately. It is because of me, all of you are sustained. If I stop you not to take anything from earth and plants, how will you survive? You cannot survive. You will die in 1 or 2 days. So like that it says. So Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text number 32, if you see, Adharmam dharmaviti, manyate tamasavutta, sarvartan viparitamscha, buddhi sa partha tamasi. That intelligence is in tamoguna, by which one considers adharma to be dharma and dharma to be adharma, and sees all things contrary to the truth. The people in the mode of ignorance have this kind of mentality. So Vena says, worshipping me is dharma, worshipping Vishnu is adharma. And he is telling that all of you are following adharma. So like that. So he further continues, Avajananti ami muda
Avajananti ami mudha
Drupa rupinam ishwaram
nrupa rupinam ishwaram
Nanu vindati te badram
nanu vindanti te bhadram
Iha loke paratracha.
iha loke paratra cha. Those who, out of gross ignorance, do not worship the king, who is actually the supreme personality of Godhead, experiences happiness neither in this world nor in the world after death.
Fools. He's calling all the great sages as fools who disrespect the Lord in the form of the king cannot enjoy happiness either in this life or in the next life. He's telling that the Supreme Lord is standing in front of you. Instead of respecting and worshipping me, you want to worship somebody else. What kind of audacity is this? What kind of foolishness? What kind of ignorance is this? Like that, he is telling. If you see, yes, Shastra Vidhi Mustruja Vartate Kamakarata. Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti Nasukam Na Paramgatim. This is the mentality of Vena. Going completely 180 degrees opposite to Shastra. He who giving up the rules of scripture acts according to his own whims does not attain perfection either in this life or in the other life. This is as per Lord Krishna's Bhagavad Gita. And according to Vena, he who does not worship me, the king, he is doing adharma, he will neither attain success in this life nor in the next life. So like that. Ko yajna purusho nama
Ko yajna purusho nama
yatra vo bhaktiridrishi
yatra vo bhaktiridrishi
भर्तृस्नेहा विदुराणाम्
bhartrasneha viduranam
यथा जारे कुयोषिताम्.
yata jare kuyositam. You are so much devoted to the demigods, but who are they? Indeed, your affection for these demigods is exactly like the affection of an unchaste woman who neglects her married life and gives all attention to her paramour.
Yeah, same again. The previously whatever he said uh, is again continuing. Who is the master of sacrifice? From whom you show, for whom you show devotion, like the devotion of unchaste women who give up affection for husband and have affection for paramour. Please telling that. Please tell me what Shastra says. Who is the master of the sacrifice and who should be worshipped in the sacrifice? All Shastra says the king should be worshipped in the sacrifice, and king is the master of the sacrifice, he is the enjoyer of the sacrifice. And giving up the worship of the king, who is your maintenance master, you all want to worship Vishnu, just like the unchaste wives giving up the service of their husband, and they serve paramours. So like that. Bhoktaram sarva maheshwaram suhrudam sarva bhutanam jnatva mam shanti mruchati. So this is what Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. And here he says, yeah, same thing. Bhoktaram sarva maheshwaram suhrudam sarva bhutanam jnatva mam shanti mruchati. Here the mam is King Vena. So I am all these things. It is I am you bestow everything. So all of you have to worship me. Giving my worship. Why you are worshipping others? So like that. Ahami sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurev cha natu mam abhijananti tatve natas chavantite. Here again, natu mam abhijananti. If you don't know this about me, whatever is mentioned the first line, I am the enjoyer and the master of all sacrifices. Those who do not know me in truth fall down. The king is saying same thing. If you do not know me, that I am the master and enjoyer of all sacrifices, you will fall down. He's telling same thing. He is simply repeating Bhagavad Gita, but replacing Krishna with himself. Perfect philosophy. So now somebody may ask the question, how can he say this? What right he has when all the scriptures are clearly say that Lord is the inner Purusha? When scriptures are say like that, how, what authority does Vena has to say all these things? Now, Vishnu will, not Vishnu, the Vena will tell what is the reason for by which he is telling this point. Yes, Prabhuji, I understood you. Wait, let us discuss the next verse, then we'll take the question. Yeah.
Okay.
Because all these are connected. It is in the middle of the discussion. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Vishnur Virincho Girisha.
Vishnur Virincha Girisha.
Indro Vayuryamo Ravi.
Indro Vayuryamo Ravi.
Parjanyo Dhanada Soma.
Parjanya Dhanada Soma.
Kshitir Agnir Apampatihi.
Tiragnipampati.
Ete Chanye Cha Vibudha.
Ete Chanyata Vibudha.
Prabhavo Varashapayo.
Prabhavo Varasapayo.
Dehe Bhavanti Nrupate.
Dehe Bhavanti Nrupate.
Sarvadeva Mayo Nrupa.
Sarvadeva Mayo Nrupaha. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, Vayu, the master of air, Yama, the superintendent of death, the sun god, the director of rainfall, Kuvera, the treasurer, the moon god, the predominating deity of earth, Agni, the fire god, Varuna, the lord of waters, and all others who are great and competent to bestow benediction or to curse, all abide in the body of the king. For this reason, the king is known as the reservoir of all demigods, who are simply parts and parcel of the king's body.
Now he gives the reason. Why? He is telling that they are all supposed to worship to the process of Yajna, the king only. And worshipping Vishnu is like the worshipping the paramour, giving up the worship of the husband. So according to his understanding of Shastra is this one. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, Vayu, Yama, Surya, then who is that? Parjanya, Kuvera, Chandra, Bhudevi, Agni, Varuna, all other devatas competent to bestow benedictions or curses reside in the body of the king. The king is the composite of all devatas. So he says that, including Lord Vishnu, all the principal devatas, Ashtadikpalakas, Lord Brahma, and other important devatas are all reside in the body of king. If king is worshipped, all these devatas are worshipped. Can't you understand this much also? This is Shastra tells. He is also quoting from Shastra only. In that sense, he is also not wrong. So that's why he's telling, all of you are giving up the service of your master and you are worshiping, trying to worship paramour. What is this? You can see all the Ashtadik Palakas are there. So Brahma is in the middle Shiva in the Ishanya, Indra in the east, Vayu in the Vayuvya, Yama in the south, Surya, rain god if you take Varuna in the west, Kuvera is in the Kuvera is also there in one of the directions, and moon god is in the north, and Agni is in the Agneya, Varuna is there, Varuna in the west. So like that, all the Dikpalakas are there, and Lord Brahma is also there, and Lord Vishnu is also there. Everyone, all the important principal devatas, including Bhudevi, they are all there. So, if you worship King, everyone's worship is accomplished. So, what you are doing is right or wrong? So, that's how Shastrically he is proving what he is saying is right. And finally, he says, Tasman Mam Karma Birvipra
Tasman mam karmabhirvipra
Yajadvam Gatamasara
yajadham karma matsaraha
Balim Cha Mahyam Harata
balim cha mahyam harata
Mattonya Puman.
matto nyakokra bhum puman. King Veena continued, for this reason, O Brahmanas, you should abandon your envy of me, and by your ritualistic activity, you should worship me and offer me all paraphernalia. If you are intelligent, you should know that there is no personality superior to me who can accept the first oblation of all sacrifices.
Yeah, they said that. Therefore, without envy, Gatamasara, giving up envy, you should worship me by your rituals. Bring the offerings to me. Who accept me is the first to enjoy the offerings. Bhoktaram Yajnaprasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So Yajnartat Karmano Annetar Lokoyam Karma Bandhana Tadartam Karma Kauntaya Mukta Sangha Samachara. You should perform every activity of yours as an offering to me. Otherwise, you are bound, this material will fall down to hell. Something like that. He's telling. So Vena is also very intellectual. With intelligence, he's proving how everyone should worship King only, not to worship the Devatas. Interestingly, there was one pastime we have heard long back by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He was talking about in one of the South India Yatras. This is about, there was a debate between a great Pandita, Vidvajana Kolahala, I suppose, and a small boy, the student of a Gurukul teacher. Somehow the teacher was defeated by this Vidvajana Kolahala. As a punishment for that defeat, he is supposed to pay every month or something like that. Since this Brahmana, the poor Brahmana, he could not pay, the disciples of that Kolahala, Vidvajana Kolahala, came and getting destroyed. They're trying to destroy the entire ashram area. That time this boy stopped. Why are you destroying the ashram? They said, no, your master was defeated by my master and it is not paying the punishment fees every month. That's why we are destroying the ashram. So then the boy said, what audacity is that? How can my guru be defeated by your guru? It's not possible. I don't believe in that. Then no, he defeated. My guru defeated your guru. First defeat me, then talk about defeating my guru. If your teacher defeats me, then I accept that he has defeated my guru. So call for a debate. So then the news went to the king. The king and queen were discussing that. He this small boy maturely making such a tough remarks that his guru himself cannot stand in front of this the Jana Kolahala. Wow, how can he stay? How can he stand? The queen somehow understood that this person, Vidvajana Kolahala, is so proud, so proud. He does not have any compassion towards anybody. The queen said, this time the boy will win. The Vidvajana Kolahala will be defeated. The king said, no, that is not possible at all. He is a big scholar. No one can stand in front of him. How can? Then the queen said, if the boy does not defeat this proud Brahmana, then for the rest of my life, I will become your maid servant. The king said, if that is the case, if the boy defeats, I will give my half of the kingdom to the boy. So the king and queen were betting each other. The next day morning in the king's court, the debate was organized. So first, the Vidvajana Kolahala came. The boy did not come. The king sent a soldier. So please call the boy. Why he did not come? When the soldier went and informed, the king is waiting for you. Then he said, if king is organizing a debate, and he should send a royal palanquin. How can I come? If I am debating with a high pandita, if the pandita is coming in palanquin, how can I come without palanquin? I should come in palanquin. But then the king arranged palanquin and the boy came. When the boy came, looking at the boy, the Vidvajana Kolahala was debating, laughing. What? You are so skinny boy. You want to challenge me? You want to do debate with me? Something like that. Then the boy said, debate is not about the size, not between the size. If that is the size, I'll put a big elephant in front of you. You debate with elephant. Debate is based on one's buddhi kushalata. So it does not matter whether small or big. You start. Then the Pandita started asking so many questions. The boy gave all the answers very quickly. The Pandita is free of questions. Then the boy said, don't ask question thinking that I'm a small boy, ignorant. Ask question thinking that just like I'm equal to you. Then he started asking tough questions. Still the boy answered all the questions. Then the Pandita said, now it is your turn. Then the boy said, I have three propositions. You disprove them that they are not correct. If you disprove them that they are not correct, I'll agree that my guru is defeated by you. And I serve you rest of my life on behalf of my guru. Something like that. Then the first proposition the boy put forward is the king is the most righteous person. The king is most righteous person. So he's making a statement. The Pandita is supposed to disprove that. Disprove means he has to prove that the king is the topmost unrighteous person. The king is in front of him only. If he proves that king is unrighteous person, the king will not keep quiet. He will punish him. There is a problem of punishment. Otherwise, if he does not prove that king is unrighteous person, he is defeated in the debate. So he has difficulty. So then he started shouting at the boy, what useless statements you are making in front of the king? How much dare do you have to call the king as unrighteous person? Then the boy said, no, my dear sir, don't become angry. From Shastra, you try to establish. King will not mind. You try to establish if you can. No, I cannot. King is a highly respectable person. How can we prove that he's highly unrighteous person? It is not at all right. This question is dismissed. You ask another question. Then the second question is, the boy said, the queen is the most chaste lady. This is much tougher. He has to prove that the king is the most unchaste lady. At least the king may tolerate if somebody calls him as the unrighteous person. But if somebody calls the queen as the unchaste woman, how can the king will tolerate? Immediately he will cut the neck of that person. I cannot do this. I cannot. The queen is like the mother of the entire country. How can we say that she's the unjust, not just ordinary unjust, the topmost unjust person, the most unjust person? And then he said this question should be dismissed. And third question, the boy said, the queen is not a barren woman. So he has to prove that the queen is a barren woman. But it cannot be. The queen already had a son. When the queen already had a son, how can we say that the queen is barren woman? In spite of having the evidence in front of your eyes, still if you start saying that the queen is barren woman, king will not keep quiet. He will think that we are pagal and we don't have any right to live anymore in this world. We outrightly will be destroyed. What nonsense are you talking? If you don't prove your statements wrong, we will put you behind the bars and torture you with all the Trishulas. Like that, he started saying. He started looking at the howling at the boy, saying that you prove them wrong. If you don't do, you will be punished for the entire life. Forget about your guru getting defeated and you becoming a slave of mine. The boy slowly he requested the sage. So, my dear sage, please, not sage, my dear Pandit, please become calm and sit. I will explain. So he offered obeisances to both the king and queen. He said, don't take the answers personally. This is as per Manu Samhita. This is as per Manu Samhita. These are the answers. The Manu Samhita says, a king, when he is ruling over the people, in order to rule over the subjects, he collects taxes from all the citizens. Because in order to maintain the kingdom, in order to protect the citizens, he collects the taxes from the people. Along with the taxes, 1/6 of the karma of each and every citizen will come to the king. Because when people are paying their taxes along with the tax amount, whether it may be grains, kind, or gold, or whatever, 1/6 of their karma also will come to the king. So, the king on his own is the most righteous person. But we cannot say that each and every citizen in the entire country is also a righteous person. There may be, that not there may be, there will be some citizens which are unrighteous. That's why, because he is the king, he accepted the responsible position. He has to accept 1/6 of the karma of each and every citizen. Because there may be many unrighteous people in the country, the king is said to be unrighteous. Then the queen stood up from the seat and started clapping. And everyone in the assembly started clapping. Yeah, that is true. Shastra says that is actually perfectly right. And then the next question. The queen is the most chaste lady. Now he has to prove that she is unchaste lady. Then he said that we all know that the queen wedded the king many years back, and both are loyal to each other. The king does not have a second wife, etc., etc., etc. And queen is very gentle, chaste, and kindly mother. Everyone knows that. But however, Shastra says the king is represented by 8 Lokapalas and also Brahma and also Vishnu. The king is representing the 10 devatas, 8 Lokapalas who are residing in the 8 directions, and Brahma and also Lord Vishnu. Because these 12 people are held responsible for the maintenance of the entire universe. On their behalf, the king takes the responsibility of maintaining the kingdom. So he is maintaining the kingdom means it is the job of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and 8 Lokapalas. So he's doing the duty of all these Lokapalas. King represents all the Lokapalas, Brahma, and Vishnu. So when the queen is serving the king, she is also serving all these 10 devatas. That means, from external point of view, though the queen may win it, but because this person is a king and she is the queen, his wife, she is supposed to serve the 10 devatas who are embodied within the personality of the king. Since she is the wife of 11 personalities, she is the unchaste lady. Then the queen became very happy. She started shouting and clapping. This is Manusupti, not Manusupti. Every scripture says this. The king represents all the devatas who are the in charges of maintenance of the universe. That's why the king is considered to be Nara Deva. He is the devata among the human beings. Because it is the devatas who have the responsibility to maintain the universe on behalf of Lord Vishnu. It is the king who is taking that responsibility from Devatas and taking care of the earth, the people on the earth. So he is as good as Devata on the earth. Because Devatas are meant to do the maintenance of the universe. So, same thing, whatever we are reading in this verse is being mentioned there. This was the second answer. And the third answer. Now, the queen already had a child. Now he has to prove that she is a barren woman. The boy says that, according to Manusmriti, if a mother has only a single child, unfortunately, this material world is full of dangers. Anything can happen anytime. If some unexpected thing happens and that one child passes away, then she will become childless. Currently, she is she has a child, but in the future, if she does not beget more children, if she only has only one child, because of some reason, before the last breath, till the last breath of her, if because of some unexpected thing the child dies, then she will become a barren woman. So it is said that if a woman with only one child, currently she may not, but in future she can become. So she is as good as barren woman. If a woman has two children at least, even if one child uncircumstantially will pass away, one more child will be there. So she will not be called as barren woman. So then the queen started pouring down the tears, and the queen suddenly came down and immediately garlanded him and embraced him, and then celebrating the victory of the boy. It's not about the victory, but it's about the essence of the Shastra in a very fine way improved. So like that. So when I was reading this verse today morning, I was remembering the past time which Maharaj told many years back in South India Yatra. And this boy was Alavandar, who eventually became Yamunacharya. Yeah. So it's like that. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, you had some question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, King Anga was a great devotee and loyal follower of the Lord. But how he could got married to Sunita, which is coming from the dynasty of the Amaraj? Any references for that?
Bhagavatam does not have, maybe in other books.
Okay.
We don't know. See,
Okay.
sometimes the kings are obliged. If the father
Okay.
of this daughter might have come with their daughter, saying that, my dear king, we want to give you my daughter in marriage. Because it is that one of the duty of the king is that when somebody comes and offers on their own, he cannot say no. He has to accept sometimes. So that could be the obligation. Just like Pandavas were invited.
Okay.
Yudhishthira Maharaj cannot say no because that is their obligation. So that could be the reason.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Any other devotees have any question? Maitreya Uvacha. Hare Krishna. Someone please repeat.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Vitam viparyayamati.
Itam viparyamati.
Prapiyam utpatam gataha.
Papiyam utkatam gata.
Anuniyamana tadyancham.
Anyunyamanasatadyanchan.
Nachakre brashtamangala.
No chakre brashtamangala. Translation. The great saint Maitreya continued. Thus the king, who became unintelligent due to his sinful life and deviation from the right path, became actually bereft of all good fortune. He could not accept the request of great sages, which the sages put before him with great respect, and therefore he was condemned. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Maitreya responded, thanks. Thus the sinful king, straying from the path, intelligence lost, bereft of good fortune, though pacified by the sages, did not accept, did not accept their request. That means basically, outrightly, he rejected everything. So then, what were the response of the sages? Iti te satkrutastena.
इति ते सत्कृतास्तेन
Dvija panditamānina.
द्विजाः पण्डितमानिना
Bhagnāyām bhavyayāñcāyām.
ज्ञायां भव्ययाञ्चानां
Tasmai vidura chukrudhiv.
तस्मै विदुराः चुक्रुधु. Translation. My dear Vidura, all good fortune unto you. The foolish king who thought himself very learned thus insulted the great sages, and the sages, being broken-hearted by the king's word, became very, very angry at him.
O Vidura, being insulted by the king, who thought himself very learned and who had refused their request, the Brahmanas became angry with him. The Brahmanas immediately became very much angry with the king. The sages were mistreated by the Vena because it is the sages who made him the king, in spite of not being accepted by the ministers, mother, and citizens. And the king does not have any regard for that, any respect or regard or any consideration of all these things. He outrightly rejected and said that never ever dare to worship Vishnu, instead worship me. I am your Lord and Master. Like that. If you worship Vishnu, I'll kill you right now. So like that, he might have put a target, warning. So the sages became very angry. How dare you to challenge us? How dare you to say that we should not worship Lord Vishnu? What authority do you have? Something like that. Hanyatam esha.
हन्यतामेष
Papa prakriti dharunaha.
पापः प्रकृतिदारुणः
Jivan jagat asau asu.
जीवान् जगत् असावासु
Kurute basmasad dhruvam.
कुरुते भस्मसात् ध्रुवम्. All the great scientists, sages immediately cried, kill him, kill him. He is the most dreadful, sinful person. If he lives, he will certainly turn the whole world into ashes in no time.
This sinful person should be killed. He should be killed. If he continues living, certainly this sinful person of cruel nature will quickly turn the whole world to ashes. Because he's not allowing anybody to perform spiritual activities, anybody to perform Vedic study of the Vedas, anybody to perform yajna or anything. Like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, like that. Kill him. So like that. Everyone is one. Unanimously they are saying, kill him, kill him. He will otherwise he will turn the world into ashes. Therefore, he should be turned to ashes immediately. Then the sages who are hearing the loud cries of other sages, kill him, they decided to kill him. Nayam arhati asadvritto.
Nayam ahartya sadvritto
Naradeva varasanam.
Naradeva varasanam
Yodi yajnapatim vishnum.
Yodi yajnam patim vishnum
Vinindati anapatrapaha.
Vinindati anapatrapaha. The saintly sages continued, this impious, impudent man does not deserve to sit on the throne at all. He is so shameless that he even dared insult the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu.
This sinful person who criticizes without any shame, who criticizes Lord Vishnu, the master of sacrifice, should not sit on the throne. He does not have any authority any qualification to sit on the throne, having criticized Lord Vishnu, the main creator, maintainer, and leader of the entire universe. So like that. When they said kill him, now they are giving the reason why he should be killed. Because he disrespected Lord Vishnu and he is not qualified to sit on the throne. There is one pastime that comes in Mahabharata. So Shantanu and Devapi, they both of them were brothers. They went to Gurukul. So in the Gurukul, Devapi decided that I want to remain as a brahmachari for some more time, or he might be thinking of remaining as a Nishnashika brahmachari in the ashram. Shantanu came back after education was over, and Shantanu became the king. He was ruling over the kingdom, and he had started so many things that he wanted to develop the kingdom in a particular dharmic way, in a proper way. He already undertaken so many activities. He is very busy. At that time, suddenly Devapi came. But unfortunately, Devapi was the elder brother, Shantanu was the younger brother, and generally the elder brother became the king. So when Devapi came, and Devapi directly or indirectly indicated that, so my dear younger brother, now I have come, please let me continue as the king of the kingdom. But Shantanu, with all good intention, he thought that I have started so many things, I wanted to do so many things, and what will happen to the then the kingdom will go into chaos, etc., etc. What to do? He consulted the ministers. The ministers told, anyway, my brother does not have proper temperament to rule over the kingdom. So let us send him back to the forest. If you tell him directly, he may not go back to the forest. So let us do something. At least for the time being, let him be in the forest and afterwards we'll see. He wants to still he want to rule, become ruler, let him become ruler afterwards. But for now, let us complete all what you have undertaken, what you have started. So in that way, he consulted the ministers. The minister said, no problem, we'll do something. We'll invite him for a discussion. In the discussion, we will trick him in such a way that he will commit an offense. Those who commit an offense, they are not qualified to be the king. So then there was a discussion about what he had learned in the Gurukul. So in that discussion, somehow or other, the ministers tricked him. At one point of time, he has to blaspheme the Vedic literatures. It seems that something which is said in the Vedas seems to be inappropriate or against to the understanding of Devapi. So for that reason, Devapi might have said, hey, this Shastra is wrong. It's not supposed to be like that, not supposed to be like that. Then the ministers caught. Then the ministers caught him. How can you say that something which is mentioned in the Shastra is wrong? You did not have respect or acceptance of Shastra. Therefore, you are not qualified to be the king. Like that, the ministers decided abruptly. So for this, you need to perform prayachitta. You need to perform austerities for so and so years. Please do that. Afterwards, only come back. Till then, you are not qualified. So Devapi became completely disinterested. He said, no, you please, you only rule. I will not rule only. I will going back to forest. So like that, with a kind of disappointment, he went back to forest and he began to perform tapasya, and he is still performing tapasya. And this Devapi will become the king. When Lord Kalki will appear, he will come out of his tapasya. That time he will act as the Senapati, commander in chief of the army of Lord Kalki, and he will assist Lord Kalki, killing all the miscreants. In the next Satya Yuga, when Kali Yuga will end, Satya Yuga will begin. He will be the Samrat Chakravarti of the entire Bhumandala. Devapi, the elder brother of Shantanu. So currently, this Devapi is performing sincere tapasya seriously in a place known as Kalapa Gram in the bigger Himalayas adjacent to Badrikashram. So like that. So when somebody disrespects Lord Vishnu, disrespects Shastra, disrespects, they are not qualified to be according to Shastra. So it is like that. So if one want to remain as a king means it is like a very highly important thing. It is very sensitive thing also. Same way they are saying that he criticized Lord Vishnu, so he does not have any right to sit on the throne. So remove him. Even that's why Lord Rama also did not. He had to send Mother Sita into forest because the king should be blameless. King should not have any blemish upon his part. He cannot sit on the throne with any blemish. So in that way. को वैनं परिचक्षिता
को वैनं परिचक्षित
वेनम् एकमृते शुभम्
वेनम् एकं ऋते शुभम्
प्राप्त ईदृशमैश्वर्यम्
प्राप्त ईदृशम् ऐश्वर्यम्
यद् अनुग्रहभाजनः
यद् अनुग्रहभाजनः. But for King Vena, who is simply inauspicious, who would blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose mercy one is awarded all kinds of fortune and opulence.
Who except unfortunate Vena would criticize the Lord, by whose mercy a person receives wealth and power. The Vena, it is by Lord's mercy only became the king of the Bhumandala and had the wealth of the entire Bhumandala for his enjoyment. In spite of that, he is criticizing Lord Vishnu. Other than Vena, who can do this? Or people like Vena only can do this. That is the understanding. They are further elaborating why he should be killed. Who except Vena would criticize Lord Vishnu, from whom he received such power and wealth and was the object of mercy. Therefore, he should be shown no mercy and should be killed. It is by Lord Vishnu's mercy he was made the king, and he is denying Lord Vishnu's existence only. He should be killed. So in that way. Ittam vyavasita hantum Hare Krishna.
Samvasitahantum
Rushayo rudamanyava
Rusayorunamanyavaha
nijagnur punkrutervenam
Jagnurhum Kruterenam
hatam achyuta nindaya.
Atam Achyuta Nindaya. The great sages, thus manifesting their convert anger, immediately decided to kill the king. King Veena was already as good as dead due to his blasphemy against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, without using any weapons, the sages killed King Veena simply by high-sounding words.
The sages, deciding to kill him, increased their anger and by chanting the incarnations, Hunkara, killed Vena, who was destroyed by the criticism of the Supreme Lord. By criticizing Lord Vishnu is already killed. So it is only detail how that happens. Generally, the sages chant Omkara in order to attain liberation. But the same sages chant Hunkara, the person will be sent to Naraka. If chanting Omkara will take one to Taijya Mukti, and chanting Hunkara will send one to hell. So the sages just chanting Hunkara, just one Hum. He was killed and he went to Narakaloka, the abode of Yamaraj. Just by uttering the word Hunkara, the sages killed the impious king Vena. They don't have to do big things. Just Tota Hunkara is enough to kill the king. And he was thinking that he's the most powerful, he's the most learned, he's the most opulent person, etc. etc. So the sages killed Vena. So Vena chapter is closed. Then what about the kingdom? Who will rule the kingdom? There is a question is there. But in any case, afterwards what happened is explained now. Any questions till now?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Little louder, Puji.
No Prabhuji.
1 second. Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes.
So at that time, this Bhrugu and all other sages, they wanted to make him a king. Is there a decision was wrong decision, or they wanted to have a try on this? They thought of
It's not wrong. When a person does not have a responsibility, he may do all naughty things. If a person becomes responsible, they thought that he will become sober. By giving him responsibility, he will become sober, like that they thought. Same thing, na? By dividing the kingdom into two parts and giving the opulent portion to Duryodhana, all the elderly Kurus thought that Duryodhana become pacified and he will become sober. But that does not happen. Just like that.
yes,
Going that
Prabhu.
way.
That-
Even after this also they thought that let us go and speak to him from Shastra. If he listens, it will be good. Still, in spite of all these things are happening, still they had some hope. Because this child is coming in the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj, na? So they were hoping that yes, he may listen, he may change like that. But nothing happened now. They killed him. Because he criticized Lord Vishnu only. So in that. Any other devotees have any questions? Okay. Rishabhi Swashramapadam
ऋषिभिः श्वासपदम्
Gate Putra Kalevaram
गते पुत्राकलेवरम्
Sunita Palayamasa
सुनीता पालयम् आसा
Vidya Yogena Sochati.
त्या योगेन सोचति. Translation. After all the sages returned to their respective hermitages, the mother of King Vena, Sunita, became very much aggrieved because of her son's death. She decided to preserve the body of her son by application of certain ingredients and by chanting the mantras, mantra yogena. Hare Krishna.
So, when the sages returned to their respective ashramas, lamenting Sunita preserved the body of her son by use of mantras. The husband abruptly disappeared and went to the forest. Now, son was also killed. The mother was completely in grief-stricken. So, what she can do? So, she does not want to do the final rites immediately. She wants to see her son for some more time, few more days or few more weeks, whatever. So she made all the arrangements for the preservation of the body of the dead son, Vena. So she did it. Vidya Yogena means by putting it in oil with the use of mantras. So she requested some brahmanas to do the needful. They put the dead body in the oil and they put some mantras so that the body does not get decomposed. So in that way. Ekada munayaste tu
एकदा मनुयस्ते तु
sarasvat salilapluta
सरस्वसलिलाप्लुता
Utvagnin satkata chakrur
वागिन् सत कथा चक्रूर
upavishta saritate.
Pavishta Sarittate. Once upon a time, the same saintly persons, after taking their bath in the river Saraswati, began to perform their daily duties by offering oblation into the sacrificial fires. After this, sitting on the bank of the river, they began to talk about transcendental person and his pastimes. Hare Krishna.
Once the sages, after taking bath in the Saraswati river and offering oblations, began to speak about the Lord while sitting on the river bank. Maybe a week later, the sages kind of forgotten completely about Vena and they were doing their daily rituals, got up in the morning and performed yajna and then sat for Krishna Katha, Bhagavatam class, something like that. Then what happened? Vikshotitam tadotpatan
Vikshayotithamastatopataan
ahurloka bhayankaran
ahurloka bhayankaran
Yabhadram anataya
api abhadram anathaya
dasyubhyo na bhavedhuvaha.
tasyubhyo na bhaved bhuva. In those days, there were various disturbances in the country that were creating a panic in society. Therefore, all the sages began to talk amongst themselves. Since the king is dead and there is no protector in the world, misfortune may befall the people in general on account of rogues and thieves.
Observing the increasing disturbances, a cause of fear in society, they discussed whether having no ruler would cause the misfortune in the world because of thieves. So in their Bhagavatam discussion, somebody might have said, so my dear great sages, all the villages are disturbed by thieves. The thieves are constantly all the while because of the thought of fear of the king. The thieves were hiding themselves now because there is no king. The thieves are outrightly tormenting the citizens and looting their possessions, wealth from them. Thus, observing the increasing disturbance, a cause of fear in the society, they discussed whether having no ruler would cause the misfortune in the world because of thieves. So now, previously we had a king who himself is a thief, we removed him. Now, since there is no king, thieves have become powerful and they are doing whatever they want. So what is good? Having a king is good or no king is good? They are not able to decide what to do. So like that the question. Evam Rishanta Rishayo
Evam vrushantar ऋषयो
Tavantam Sarvato Disham
धावत्तां सर्वतो दिशम्
Pumshuhu Samutito Bhures
कंसु सम्मितो भूरिस्
Choranam Abilumpatam.
चोरानाम् अभिलुम्पताम्. When the great sages were carrying on their discussion in this way, they saw a dust storm arising from all directions. This storm was caused by the running of thieves and rogues who were engaged in plundering the citizens.
As one among the sages questioned, so I heard that the people are getting tormented by the thieves. And what is good? Having a king like Vena is good, or having no king at all? What is good? Both the way people are in trouble. What to do? So they were contemplating what could be the good solution. Then suddenly they saw, while the sages were reflecting on this, the great dust from plundering thieves running about arose in all directions. Now they started seeing the dust everywhere because the thieves would ride on the horses. As a result of that, dust is raised. While the sages were reflecting and sitting there, the dust arose. Tad
Your
Upadrava
voice
Magna.
is fluctuating.
Sorry?
Your
Voice
voice
is
is
fluctuating.
fluctuating.
I am doing normally only. Now? Prabhuji, now okay?
Sometimes it goes fine,
it is,
sometimes we cannot hear you. Now
Sometimes
it is
okay. Now it is okay, but if it goes once again, let me know. Then we'll change it to mobile data only. I'm
Sure,
using Wi-Fi.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
please
yeah, it
read
is
the
just
translation. Tadupadravam Ajnaya
तदुपद्रवम् अज्ञान्या
Lokasya Vasulumpatam
लोकस्य वसुलुम्पताम्
Bhartari Uparate Tasmin
भर्तरि उपरते तस्मिन्
Anyonyam Cha Jigamshatam.
Annonam Chajigansmastam
Choraprayam Janapadam
Choraprayam Janapadam
Hina Sattvam Maja Arajakam
Ina Sattvam Marajakam
Lokan Navarayan Chakta
Lokanavarayan Chakta
Api Taddosha Darshinaha.
Api Taddosha Darshina. Upon seeing the dust storm, the saintly persons could understand that there was a great deal of irregularities due to the death of King Vena. Without government, the state was devoid of law and order, and consequently, there was a great uprising of murderous thieves and rogues, who were plundering the riches of the people in general. Although the great sages could subdue the disturbance by their powers, just as they could kill the king, they considered it improper on their part to do so. Thus, they did not attempt to stop the disturbance.
Though the sages understood the disturbance to the population by people mutually looting wealth. That means there were thieves and even people also became thieves and they are looting each other and killing each other, and understood that almost the whole population without a king had become thieves. Because everyone became thieves. What can be done? If somebody is stealing mine, how can I keep quiet? I need to survive. So I will steal somebody else's. So divide of any sense control. Even the Kshatriyas who are capable of preventing this, though seeing it happen, did not stop those who were looting others. Even there are some Kshatriyas who are soldiers, they could have stopped this entire thing, but they could only stop their own home not being looted. They did not help protect others. They just seeing, let it happen, whatever is supposed to happen. So like that. Because they don't have to report to any king. So in that way. They are only interested in self-protection. So in that way. Understanding the disturbance to the population by looters of wealth and killers, and understanding that almost the whole population had become thieves, persons capable of preventing this, even seeing it happen, the Kshatriyas, protecting only themselves and being indifferent to others, thinking, why should we protect others? Did not stop those who were looting others. So like that. There are some soldiers who could have done, all the soldiers, if they came together and they could have stopped the thieves to steal the entire village, but they only protected their own home property. So, but rest of the village was stolen. So like that. They came to know all these things. They understood all these things. Brahmana samadrukshanto
ब्राह्मणः समदुःखान्तो
deenanam samupekshaka
दीनानां समुपेक्षकः
shravate brahma tasyapi
श्रवते ब्रह्म तस्यापि
भिन्ना budat payo yataha.
भिन्नं भूतात्पयो यथा. The great sage began to think that although a Brahmana is peaceful and impartial because he is equal to everyone, it is still not his duty to neglect poor humans. By such neglect, a Brahmana's spiritual power diminishes, just as water kept in a cracked pot leak out. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, this verse talks about the responsibility of the Brahmanas toward the society. If a peaceful Brahmana who sees all equally, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Samadarshana. A peaceful Brahmana who is Samadarshana, but ignores others' suffering. He sees people suffering, but he does not do anything. His spiritual power diminishes. A person's spiritual power will diminish. Just like water flowing from a broken pot. In a broken pot, how much water is that will be leaking away? How much self-controlled, how much a great sage one may be, if he does not do anything for the suffering of the conditioned souls, all his spiritual merit will be leaked away slowly. What to speak of devotees and Kshatriyas being obliged to stop suffering of the people? It, if even the Brahmana, peaceful and seeing all beings equally, ignores the suffering, then even his austerity as a Brahmana dissipates. It is the responsibility of even a peaceful Brahmana. That means even a sannyasi also, even after taking sannyasi also may say, I don't have anything with this world. Still, it is their responsibility not to keep quiet looking at the suffering of the conditioned souls. So remembering this, they want to do something. Nangasya vamsho rajarshe
Nangasya vanshurajarshe
esha samstatum arhati.
esha samstuta satum arhati
Amoga virya nrupa
amoga virya he nrupa
vamshesmin keshavashraya.
vanshes minakeshavashraya. The sages decided that the descendants of the family of the saintly king Anga should not be stopped. For in this family, the semen was very powerful and the children were prone to become devotees of the Lord.
So now they are also contemplating the dynasty of Anga, who is a saintly king, who is Rajarshi, should not be destroyed. Because as of now, Vena is not even married and did not have any children also. But there was no mention about his marriage or he is having children. So if Vena dies, of course Vena is already died. So the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj is completely stopped. But the dynasty of Swayambhu Manu and Dhruva Maharaj is known to be Rajarshis. They are all devotees by birth, from the very birth, and they all would govern the entire country in a proper dharmic way, providing all the wonderful facilities for the people to go back home, back to Godhead. So now they thought that this dynasty should not end right now. We need to do something to continue this dynasty. So one option is again bring back the life of Vena and get him married, and he will beget children, so the dynasty will continue. That possibility is there. They could have done that. But what they did, we will say. If that is so, why did the sages headed by Bhrigu remain unconcerned? If the sages are supposed to be concerned about the pain of others, why did Bhrigu and all these great sages are indifferent to things or what things are happening? But no, they are not. They're just thinking what to do. Seeing that they could prevent destruction of their austerity by killing the thieves and protecting the population, they concluded that some king was not necessary, some tomb to be destroyed. Basically, just like by chanting Omkara, they killed Vena. Similarly, by chanting one more Omkara, they could have killed all the thieves. That is possible. The sages can do. But how long they will be doing all these things? This is governing is not the responsibility of the Brahmanas, but to sannyasis. Like this, all the great rishis and all. It is the responsibility of a Kshatriya. So they cannot perform Kshatriya duties for long. Maybe in the emergency, once or twice, it's okay, but not continuously. So they thought that, so let there be a king from the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj. He will take care, he will continue to rule instead of we getting into it. So they thought like that and they should do something. So for first option is they could have reawakened Vena and got him married and beget children. He will beget children. That is like general procedure of begetting children, continuing the legacy. But they just did not do that. They did something else. So let us see what they did. Vinichit Vinichittaivam Rushyo
विनिश्चैवतं मुनयो
Vipannasya Mahipate
विपन्नस्या महीपते
Mamantur Urum Tarasa
ममन्पूरुरं तं तरसा
Tatra Se Bahuko Nara.
तत्रा सिद्धा मुको नरः. After making a decision, the saintly persons and sage churn the thighs of dead body of King Vena with great force and according to the specific method. As a result of this journey, a draft-like person was born from the King Vena's body. Hare Krishna.
Mhm. So now they want to do something. They came back to capital and they understood that the mother still kept the dead body of Vena intact, and they took out the dead body from the oils. So then what they did? Deciding thus, the sages swiftly churned the thigh of the dead king. A dwarf appeared. They churned the thigh of the king. Instead of bringing him alive, they simply churned the thighs of the Vena. As a result of that, a dwarf appeared. Dwarf means like Vamana, very small, short-headed person appeared. Bahuka means a dwarf. First, the mother's portion, Adharma, was separated and extracted from the body. Just like when the milk ocean was churned by the Devatas and Asuras, first came poison. Similarly, when all these sages churned the thighs of the Vena, first all the negativity, all the Adharma appeared in the form of Bahuka, or we can call him as Nishada. So like Bahuka means a dwarf. From the mother's portion, he was appeared. First, the mother's portion was separated and extracted from the body. Because mother is coming from the dynasty of Adharma, all Adharma qualities, they all appeared in the form of Bahuka. So now Vena's body is free from Adharma.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, this Vena is a son of that Sunita, Queen Sunita, right? So,
Yes.
and Sunita is a daughter of Mrityu. But Mrityu is a Lord's servant, na Prabhuji. He does justice. The Mrityu means what? Yamaraj.
No, Muttu is not Yamaraj. Yamaraj is different.
Then Mrityu, how it is considered to be inauspicious or negative or other?
Wait. You don't take Muttu alone. Mrityu is a person born in the lineage of Adharma.
Okay.
But that means he is a Adharmic person. Here Mrityu is not just death. Here Mrityu means it is that he is the in charge of those things which will bring the death quickly.
Okay.
When one performs more and more sinful activities, he will die faster. So like that.
Okay.
So here Mrityu in one sense, Mrityu means going to Naraka.
Acha.
Is that Adharma which makes sure that one will go to Naraka. Normally, when somebody dies in our country, all over India, in our vernacular language, what do we say? What do we say when somebody passes away in our home? In our vernacular language?
स्वर्गवासी हो गए.
क्यों?
Because we don't want our people to go to Naraka.
Because nobody will ever say that my father, mother, uncle, aunt, they gone to Naraka. People just don't want to say only. Then what to speak of accepting it? That's why the Mrityu is. That's why the death of a gentleman is a festival of celebration. At least in the past, when a person leads a life of piety, if he dies, they know this person led a pious life, he has gone to Swarga. He has gone to a better place. So it is a festival of celebration. It is not a festival of morals.
Yes, got it, Prabhuji. Thank you.
In that way. Kaka Krishnoti Hraswango.
Kaka Krishnoti Haswango.
Rasvabahurmahabaho Mahahonu
Rasvabahurmahahunu
Rasvapanimnanasagro
Rasvapanimnanasagro
Raktaksha Tamramurdaja.
Raktakshatamra Murdaja. This person born from King Vena's thighs was named Bahuka, and his complexion was as black as a crow's. All the limbs of his body were very short. His arms and legs were short, and his jaws were large. His nose was flat, his eyes were reddish, and his hair copper colored.
The bodily description of the child who was born by churning of the Vena's dead body is described. He was black like a crow, Kaka Krishna. Krishna means black. So what kind of black? Kaka Krishna. He is as black as a crow and very short in stature. Karaswa Anga. Anyway, we already said he is like dwarf. Dwarf means short heighted. So he's supposed to be short. If he is short, his hands will be short, legs will be short, everything will be short. With short arms, short legs, but in between, big jaws. Mahahanu. The jaws are long. Like monkeys have long jaws. So like that. Flat nose. Our nose is sharp tipped. It is coming forward, but he has a flat nose like monkeys. Red eyes, Raktaksha, and copper colored hair. Tambra Murdaja. The body hair are all copper in color. So such a person appeared from churning the dead body of Vena. Then what? Tam tu te vasatam dinam
Tam
Te
te
tam tu
vanatam dinam
kim karmoti uta kim karmoti vida vadinam
kim karomiti vadinam
nishideti abruvam tata
nishitetyabhravam tata
sa nishadastato bhavat.
sa nishadastato bhavat. He was very submissive and meek, and immediately after his birth, he bowed down and inquired, Sir, what shall I do? The great sage replied, Please sit down. Thus Nishada, the father of Nishadaras, was born.
When bowing down humbly, the small child who was just appeared from the dead body of Vena, he said, Kim karomiti? Oh, my dear Brahmavadis, my dear sages, what I am supposed to do? What is my service? Something like that. The sages said, please don't disturb, sit quietly for some time. We'll think about what you are supposed to do. But they said, sit, Nishida, don't speak anything, just sit quietly. Therefore, he became the Nishada tribe. Eventually, he will be known as, he and his generations will be known as Nishadas. Why? That is explained in the next verse. Since he was tribal in nature, he was not suitable to be the king. Based on his bodily description, and eventually they will talk about based on his psychophysical nature, he will be known as Nishada. So, like that. Tasya Vamshastu Naishada.
Tasya Vamsha Naishada
Giri Kanana Gocharaha.
Giri Kanana Gochara
Yena Hara Jayamano.
Yena Harajayamano
Vena Kalmashamulbana.
Vena Kalmashamulvanam. After his Nishada's birth, he immediately took charge of all the resultant actions of King Vena's sinful activities. As such, this Nishada class are always engaged in sinful activities like stealing, plundering, and hunting. Consequently, they are only allowed to live in the hills and forests.
So the sages contemplated for a while. This fellow who appeared in black color with all disformed bodily limbs and all, he represents the motherly lineage Adharma. So he is as good as Vena only, like this in one sense. Adharmic qualities are fully in this person, is as good as Vena. Such a person is not at all fit for becoming king. And more than that, such a person is not fit to stay in the city also. So he should not be allowed to stay in the city. Deciding that, they said, you please go and live in the forest. You will be known as Nishada, and your descendants also will be known as Nishadas. And you live in the forest and sustain yourselves by living in the forest. Food stuff, either fruits or roots or forest animals, whichever, whatever you want to do. So the forest is your dwelling place. Never ever come to city. That's what they said. He agreed. So he went to forest and he made his family, descendants, all these things, and they became known as Nishadas. And he made his occupation by hunting, killing the animals, and sometimes killing the travelers who come to forest and stealing their wealth, something like that. Because accepting the terrible sins of Vena and being born, his descendant, the Nishadas, inhabit the mountains and forest. So starting from this child, these Nishadas are not supposed to stay in the city because they are like the thieves, they are like the Vena. So they will usurp the property of the common citizen that is not good for them. So they were told to stay in the outside city. So since then they are staying in the outside city. By being born and taking the sins of Vena, he took low birth as a Nishada. His descendants, the Nishadas, are very low in birth. So like that, the birth of Bahuka, who is also known as Nishada, is explained in this chapter, who appeared by the turning of thighs of the king Vena by the great sages. Hare Krishna. Any questions?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Yes, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, ये तो आप बता रहे हो कि साधु लोगों ने वेन को डाला और फिर उनको विचार आया कि सिटीजन ये है, मीन्स सिटीजन आर सफरिंग बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल दिस थिंग्स। तो वो लोग पहले ये क्यों नहीं, क्योंकि दे आर ब्राह्मणास आर कॉल्ड द ब्रेन ऑफ द सोसाइटी, तो उन्होंने यही सॉल्यूशन क्यों निकाला? एनी अदर सॉल्यूशन दे कैन थिंक ऑफ ना?
What other solution? What is your solution?
हेलो, हरे कृष्ण, आवाज नहीं आ रहा
yes.
मुझे आपको?
Yes,
हरे
Mataji.
बोल।
Hare Krishna.
हाँ हाँ, तो प्रभु जी ये उसके मरने के बाद उनको ये सब विचार क्यों आया, उसके पहले क्यों नहीं आए? दैट्स माय पॉइंट। और
No,
ये
is there any
बुद्धि
other
के
solution? Is there any other solution?
हाँ हाँ,
I mean, what is the solution in your mind?
कभी कभी क्या होता है ना कि दुष्टों के पुत्र भी अच्छे निकल जाते हैं, जैसे हिरण्याकश्यपु का बेटा भी प्रहलाद महाराज हुआ, तो वेन का भी बेटा पृथु महाराज जी होने वाले थे।
No, होने वाले की गारंटी नहीं। अभी
प्रभु जी आपका
करने
आवाज
के
क्लियर नहीं।
Hare Krishna.
हरि बोल।
Now you are able to
हाँ,
hear?
या हाँ
So because of churning, the first child was Bahuka only, na? Later on, Bahuka would be supposed to be the king.
हाँ, नहीं बट
So,
वेन को मारने के बजाय ये भी सोल्यूशन निकल सकता था ना, ऐसे मैंने कहा।
no, if you don't kill, he will continue the king. You cannot dethrone them from kingdom. See, once you made him king, he will be as a king till the death, till his son becomes the king. Until then, you keep quiet and keep seeing what's happening around.
No.
First of all, he did not become king on his own. He was Apad Dharma king. He was made by the sages. It was the sages who made him the king. Whom the people will blame? We told you should not make them king, make him king. Still you people made. What is the reason? You took bribe or what? Because the sages made him the king, they took the responsibility of removing from the kingdom. But unfortunately, once he has become king, even if they say you are not king, will he listen? He will not listen. So that such a person should be killed only. He cannot be let loose.
Okay, now clear.
The sages told rule the kingdom with dharma.
Hare Krishna.
He said, no, dharma, you worship me, you don't worship Vishnu. He has gone to that extent. He is telling, I am Vishnu. Then how can the sages will keep quiet?
Okay.
So like that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one question. Prabhuji, this happened in Satyuga, and then in Treta Yuga, it is the Nishad Raj who had so much love for Lord Ram and who gave him shelter. So how do how to understand that Nishadas, like they were not good or they would harm others?
See,
So how to understand it?
in general, by nature, the Nishadas, forest dwellers, the Asuras, Rakshasas are adharmic, envious, intolerant, and non-devotees. But by good fortune, once in a while, a devotee may appear in their dynasty. Like Guha in the case of Nishadas, Prahlada in the case of Asuras, Vibhishana in the case of Rakshasas. They are exceptions, but 99.99% are Asuric in nature.
Okay.
So it is as simple as that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. If other devotees have no questions, we'll continue with the next chapter. So Pahuka was born. He cannot be the king. They know. This fellow is representing all Adharma only. The Vena was also Adharma and he is also Adharma. What is this? Unka lineage only continuing. These people are not fit to stay in the kingdom. Previously, they made the mistake of making Vena as the king. Now they don't want to make any mistake. They told, you do not stay in the city. Never ever come to city. Get lost from here. Go stay in the forest. If you come, we will kill you just like we killed your father. They might have given strong warning like that. So out of fear of death, he had gone to forest and he began to live in the forest only. So now, what they did afterwards is this chapter. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Atatasya punarviprair.
Atatasya punarviprer.
Aputrasya mahipate.
Aputrasya mahipate.
Bahubhyam matyamanabhyam.
Bahubhyam matyamanabhyam.
Mitunam samapadyata.
Mithunam samapadyata. The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, thus the Brahmanas and the great sages again churned the two arms of King Vena's dead body. As a result, a male and female couple came out of his arms.
Previously, they churned the thighs of the dead body of the Vena. Now they churned the arms of the dead body of the Vena. When the sages again churned the two arms of the sunless king Vena, a couple appeared. A boy and girl, or a male and female, both appeared. What should the father's lineage and the power of the sacrifice to Lord Vishnu produce? This verse describes. So, to have a son, King Anga performed Vishnu Yajna. Vishnu Yajna Purusha came and offered him sweet rice, but unka response kabhi tak kuch mila nahi. So Vena was born as representative of Mother's Adharma, and Vena's son Bahuka was also born representing Mother's Adharma. अभी विष्णु यज्ञ तो किया था, उसका फल कब आएगा? तो तुरंत तो आना चाहिए. So like that one may say. So it is coming now. The result of the yajna that Anga performed unto Lord Vishnu is appeared in the form of male and female. See the potency of yajna. Since it is so potent, who appeared, you see. Tad drishtva mitunam jatam.
Tad drishtva mithunam jatam.
Rushayo brahmavadinaha.
Rushayo brahmavadina.
ऊचुः परम संतुष्टा
ऊचुः परमसन्तुष्टा
विदित्वा भगवत्कलाम्.
viditva bhagavatkalam. The great sages were highly learned in Vedic knowledge. When they saw the male and female born of the arms of Vena's body, they were very pleased, for they could understand that the couple was an expansion of a plenary position of Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Seeing the couple appear, the sages, knowledgeable of the Vedic literature, were highly satisfied, and understanding that a portion of the Supreme Lord had appeared, they spoke. They looked at very distinguishedly, they looked at both the male and female who appeared from this churning process of both the arms. Then they realized that this male person is an expansion of Lord Vishnu himself. How Vandal will be explained in the next verses, but Prthu is a Shakti Avesha avatar of the Supreme Lord. He is a Jiva Tattva, but endowed with Palana Shakti. That's why he is considered to be Shakti Avesha avatar with the ruling potency of the Supreme Lord. Rushaya Uchuhu
ऋषया ऊचुः
Esha Vishnor Bhagavata
एष विष्णोर्भगवतः
Kala Bhuvana Palini
कला भुवनपालिनी
Iyam cha Lakshmaya Sambhutihi
इयं च लक्ष्म्याः सम्भूतिः
Purushasyanapayini
पुरुषस्यानपायिनी.
Ayam tu
This great
Pratamo Rajan. Oh, Ayam tu Pratamo Rajan
अयं तु प्रथमो राज्ञाम्
Puman Pratayitayasha
पुमान् प्रार्थयिता यशः
Pruturnama Maharajo
पृथुर्नाम महाराजो
Bhavishyati Prutushrava.
भविष्यति पृथुश्रवा. The great sages said, the male is a planetary expansion of the power of Lord Vishnu, who maintains the entire universe, and the female is a plenary expansion of the goddess of fortune, who is never separated from the Lord. Of the two, the male will be able to expand his reputation throughout the world. His name will be Prthu. Indeed, he will be the first among kings.
So here they are examining the kid, both the personalities who appear now. The sages are responding. He is an expansion of Supreme Lord. Esha Bhagavata Vishnoho Kala. He is Bhagavan Vishnu's Kala. We have two types of expansions, Amsha and Kala. Ete Chamsha Kala Pumsha Vishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. All these avatars which are explained till now, they are either Amsha or Kala of the first Purusha, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. But among them, Vishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Amsha means the direct expansion of the Supreme Lord, who are completely Vishnu Tattva. Kala means secondary expansions of the Lord Vishnu, who are Jiva Tattvas, but they are either Shakti Avesh Avataras or Vibhutis. So they are called as Kala. So here, King Prthu is a Kala avatar of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And she, the maintainer of the entire world, Bhuvana Palini, is an expansion of Mother Lakshmi, Lakshmya Sambhutihi, inseparable from the Supreme Lord, Purushasya Anapayini. The Supreme Lord Narayana and his consort Mother Lakshmi are never separable from each other. Narayana's expansion appeared in the form of Prthu. Lakshmi's expansion appeared in the form of Arci. Sambhuti means directly wealth. She is expansion of Mother Lakshmi. The first, so they already said, so this is not an ordinary king. is Prathamo Rajan. He will be the first king. Why first king? Because he will establish the cities, villages, towns, the land meant for agriculture, land meant for cow grazing, land meant for forest dwellers, like that. He will segregate everything in the kingdom. So previously also kingdom was there, they were ruling, everything was there. जैसा होता था वैसा होता था. But now he organizedly arranged the entire kingdom. That's why he was called as Adi Raja, the first Raja. So in that way, the first among the kings, the male, will increase his fame. He will be a great king, widely known, and thus he will be named Prthu. Because he will be the first Raja, his glories will be spread far and wide for the rest of eternity. That's why he will be called as Prthu, Prthushrawa. Prthushrawa means he whose glories are always sung, always heard. That's why his name is Prthu. So like that. The sages chant the arms of Vena. This signifies that the power of the Kshatriyas and the power of the Lord lie in the arms of the Kshatriya. Because it is by Bhujamala, the Kshatriyas rule the kingdom. Kshatriyas win the war by their arm, by the ability of their arms, by the skill of their arms in the fighting. So from the churning of the hands, the two persons appeared. So he is representing the Kshatriya potency, the ruling potency. So in that way. So this verse explains the derivation of Prthu's name. So like that. Even from Virata Purva, from the head appeared the Brahmanas because they need to think. From hands appeared Kshatriyas because they need to protect and rule. From the abdomen, the Vaishyas appeared because they need to feed. From legs, Shudras appeared because they need to serve. So like that. Iyam cha sudati devi.
Iyam cha sudati devi.
Gunabhushana bhushana.
Gunabhushana bhushana.
Archirnama vararoha.
Archirnama vararoha.
Prutum eva varundati.
Pratum eva varundati.
Esha sakshat hareramsho.
Esa sakshat darer hamso.
Jato lokari rakshaya.
Jato lokari rakshaya.
Iyam cha tatparahi srir.
Iyam cha tatparahi shrir.
Anujajnena payine.
Anujajnena payini. The female has such beautiful teeth and beautiful qualities that she will actually beautify the ornaments she wears. Her name will be Arci. In the future, she will accept King Prthu as her husband. In the form of King Prthu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared through a part of his potency to protect the people of the world. The goddess of fortune is the constant companion of the Lord, and therefore she has incarnated partially as Arci to become King Prthu's queen.
Yeah. Now they are further discussing about male and female. The elegant divine woman with fine teeth who enchants, who enhances the ornaments and good qualities, named Archi, will accept Prthu as her husband. They just appeared and they are saying everything about what is going to happen in the future. She is the ornament of all ornaments and qualities. By her devotion, she will control Prthu. So basically, she is telling that she is the embodiment of all the good qualities. And she is brightly shining with all these good qualities. She will be known as Archi. Archi means Arka. Arka is sun. Arka is brightly shining. Same way, Archi means brightly shining with all the good qualities. A portion of the Supreme Lord, he has been born with a desire to protect the world. Esha Jato Loka Ririkshaya. So in order to establish how the kingdom should be ruled, because Vena created a bad example. In order to nullify that and establish a good pantha, a proper way of bona fide way of ruling the kingdom, the Supreme Lord himself appeared as Prthu to show a example of how to rule the kingdom. And Mother Lakshmi dedicated to him as being born inseparable from him. Because Lord Narayana appeared in the form of King Prthu, how can Mother Lakshmi stay back? She also came along with him in order to assist him in his service. So like that. So both came together. So like that. That's how two personalities are born by the churning of Vena's hands, which represent the result of the Vishnu Yajna that King Anga performed long back. So the Brahmanas told, they performed already Jatakarma ceremony that he will be the ruler and she will be his wife. He is the expansion of Lord Vishnu, she is the expansion of Mother Lakshmi. And they will set a night example and they will be known as the first Raja and they will rule the kingdom very nicely. So in order to rule the kingdom, they need to be coronated. Immediately they started the coronation ceremony of King Prthu and Maharani Arci. It's like that. So for that coronation, all the devatas will come as guests. So then when the guests come, they also bring some gifts. So all those things are described in the rest of the chapter. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Prasamshanti smatam vipra.
Prashamshanti smatam vipra.
Gandharva pravarajago.
Gandharva pravarajago.
Mumunchu sumanodhara.
Muchu sumanodara.
Siddha nrutyati swastriya.
Siddha nrutyanti swasriya.
Shankaturya mrudangadya.
Shankaturya mridangadya.
Nedur dundubayo divi.
Nedu dundubayo divi.
Tatra sarva upajagmur.
Tatra sarva upajagmur.
Devarshi pitrunam gana.
Devarshi pitranam gana. The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Viduraji, at that time all the Brahmanas highly prized and glorified King Prthu, and the best singers of Gandharva Loka chanted his glories. The inhabitants of Siddha Loka showered flowers, and the beautiful women in the heavenly planets danced in ecstasy. Conch shells, bugles, drums, and kettle drums vibrated in outer space. Great sages, forefathers, and personalities from the heavenly planets all came to earth from various planetary systems.
See, not a ordinary person is born. Mother Lakshmi and Lord Narayana appeared. So who will keep quiet? All the devatas quickly came there and started expressing their happiness, their joy. First of all, the Brahmanas praised him. When they heard from few Brahmanas, few well-known Brahmanas that this is Lord Vishnu's expansion, Mother Lakshmi's expansion, he will be the king, she will be the king, let us do coronation. Then the other Brahmanas started chanting the Vedic hymns. So obviously the Lord himself appeared, so they will be happy. Till now, all the while they were in remorse and trouble because of Vena. Since the time of Vena's birth till now, till today, they are in agony. Now, the Supreme Lord himself appeared. Now they are very happy. They are expressing their joy. They are praising the appearance of Lord Vishnu. And Gandharva sang, Siddha showered flowers, and the Apsaras danced from Sarga, and others played conches, trumpets, drums, kettle drums, all these things. All the groups of devatas sang and Pitrus arrived. So like that, they are singing and traveling all the way to the place where coronation is happening. They want to be part of that entire festivities. They are expressing their joy and coming toward the coronation ceremony. So in that way. Brahma Jagat Gurur Devai.
Brahma Jagat Gurur Devai.
Sahasrutya Sureshwarai.
Sahasrutya Sureshwarai.
Vinyasya dakshine haste
Vainakshya dakshine haste
drishtva chihnam gadabrutaha
दृष्ट्वा चिन्नां गदाभृतः
padayor aravindam cha
पादयोर अरविन्दं च
tam vai mene hare kalam
तं वै मेने हरे कलाम्
yasya pratihantum hantam chakram
यस्या प्रतिहतं चक्रम्
amshasa parameshtina.
अंश च परमेष्टिना. Lord Brahma, the master of the entire universe, arrived there accompanied by all the demigods and their chiefs. Seeing the lines of Lord Vishnu's form on King Prthu's right hand and the impressions of lotus flowers on the soles of his feet, Lord Brahma could understand that King Prthu was a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one whose form bears the sign of a disc, as well as other such lines, should be considered a partial representation or incarnation of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. Brahma, the guru of the entire universe, Jagat Guru, arrived with the Devatas, seeing the marks of the club on Prthu's right hand and the lotus on his 2 feet. Brahma understood that Prthu, whose other lines were the same as that of the Lord's, was a portion of the Supreme Lord. Though the Brahmanas like Bhrigu and all ascertained that is Vishnu's expansion, when Brahma came, he also examined. His right hand had the symbol of club, his left hand had his 2 feet had the symbol of chakra and other symbols that we discussed during the third canto, the 28th chapter, when Ashtanga Yoga was described. In the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, what all the symbols were there? So all the symbols were there. Then Brahma declared unanimously that he is an expansion of Supreme Lord himself. Apratihatam means his hand was not different with its other lines also. Though only one sign is mentioned here, all other signs are there. That is understanding. Only Gada was mentioned. Not only Gada, but all other things are also there, as they are supposed to be in the hand and feet of the Supreme Lord. So like that. तस्याभिषेक आरब्धो
तस्याभिषेक आरब्धो
ब्राह्मणे ब्रह्मवादिभिः
ब्राह्मणैर्ब्रह्मवादिभिः
अभिषेशनिकान्यस्मिन्
अभिषेचानि कान्यस्मै
आजह्रु सर्वतो जना.
आजक्रो सर्वतो जना. The learned Brahmanas, who were very attached to the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, then arranged for the king's coronation. People from all directions collected all the different paraphernalia for the ceremony. Thus, everything was complete.
Yeah. The Brahmanas who are knowledgeable of the Vedas arranged for the coronation of King Prthu. The people from all around brought to Prthu the ingredients for the bathing ceremony. So now they announced, Brahma announced, let us do coronation ceremony today or tomorrow, whatever, sometime might have given. So in the meantime, whatever is required for the coronation ceremony, everything has been brought by the different personalities. The Devatas brought something, the people brought something, and the king palace arranged something here and there. Everything is arranged. Saris Samudra Girayo Naga
Sait Samudra Girayo Naga
Gava Kaga Mruga
Gava Kaga Mruga
Dyaukshiti Sarva Bhutani
Dyaukshiti Sarva Bhutani
Samajahrur Upayanam
Samajakrur Upayanam
Sobhishikto Maharaja
Sobhishikto Maharaja
Suvasa sadvalankritaha.
Suvasa Sadvalankritaka.
Patnyarchi shalankritaya vire. Sorry, Patnyarchi salankritaya
Patnyarchi Salankritaya.
virejegne rivaparaha.
Vire Jetnir Iva Paraha. All the rivers, seas, hills, mountains, serpents, cows, birds, animals, heavenly planets, the earthly planet, and all other living entities collected various presentations according to their ability to offer the king. Thus, the great king Prthu, exquisitely dressed with the garments and ornaments, was coronated and placed on the throne. The king and his wife Arci, who was also exquisitely ornamented, appeared exactly like fire.
The rivers, oceans, mountains, snakes, cows, birds, animals, sky, earth, and all other living entities offered gifts. They not only brought what is required for the coronation ceremony, they also brought some gifts which they wanted to offer to the Lord out of their love for the Lord. Because first of all, Lord appeared. Second, Lord is getting coronated. So two auspicious ceremonies are happening. So why would not they offer some gifts? Prthu, having been bathed, ornamented properly, and dressed finely, along with his ornamented wife Arci, appeared like a second fire. Anyway, Arci herself is like a fire, brightly shining like fire. And even Prthu also appearing like another fire. So like that. So now coronation is being performed. Tasmai Jahara Dhanado
तस्मै जहार धनदो
Haimam Veeravarasanam
हैमं वीरवरासनं
Varuna Shalila Sravam
करुणः सलिलस्रावम्
Atapatram Shashiprabham
आतपत्रं शशीप्रभम्
Vayuscha Vala Vyajane
वायुश्च वालव्यजने
Dharma Kirtimayim Srujam.
धर्मः कीर्तिमयीं सृजम्
Indra Kiritam Utkrishtam
इन्द्रः किरीटम् उत्कृष्टम्
Dhandam Samyamanam Yamaha.
दण्डं संयमनं यमः. The great sage continued, my dear Vidura, Kuvera presented the great king Prthu with a golden throne. The demigod Varuna presented him with an umbrella that constantly sprayed fine particles of water and was as brilliant as the moon. The demigod of air Vayu presented King Prthu with his twist tamara of hair. The king of religion Dharma presented him with a flower garland which would expand his fame. The king of heaven, Indra, presented him with a valuable helmet, and the superintendent of death, Yamaraj, presented him with a scepter with which to rule the world.
So now coronation is over. Then one by one, all the assembled devatas are offering in gifts. So what they are offering? Oh Vidura, Kuvera offered a golden throne. So Kuvera is the in charge of the wealth of the devatas. He has a lot of wealth, a lot of gold with him. So he offered a throne made up of gold, according to him. Varuna offered an umbrella, brilliant as the moon, flowing with water. So Varuna is the ocean god. He is known to cool, especially in the summer. If you are going out, here we see in the campus, when the boys and girls, when they are going to mess to eat their meals, they hold umbrella upon their heads because summer is so intense, they want to protect themselves, so they use umbrella. So Varuna offered an umbrella, which is as brilliant as moon, white umbrella, and flowing with water. So white water droplets are continuously falling from the umbrella. So the umbrella not only giving them protection, and also giving the person underneath cooling sensation. Just 1 second. Prabhuji, I'm in a class. You can come. So like that. And then Vayu offered two chamras. So Vayu is known for giving us cool breezes. So for a king inside the palace, he gave two chamaras just to hold the chamaras. Lot of cool breeze will come. Something like that. Dharma offered a garland of fame. Dharmaraj, Dharma personified, offered him a garland of fame. As long as you have that garland, your fame will never last. Something like that. Indra offered an excellent crown because Indra is the king of the heaven. So a king will be known by the crown he wears. So Indra offered a crown. Yama offered a punishing rod. Yamaraj is known for punishing people. Yamadanda. So he offered that Yamadanda to king because the criminal should be afraid of getting punished by the king. They should not do any sinful activities. So like that. Then who else offered what? Brahma Brahmamayam Varma.
Brahma Brahma Mayam Barma.
Bharati Haramuttamam.
Bharati Haramuttamam.
Hari Sudarshanam Chakram.
Harihi Sudarsanam Chakram.
Tatpatni Avyahrutam Shriyam.
Tatpatni Abhyahatam Sriyam. Lord Brahma presented King Prthu with a protective garment made of spiritual knowledge. Bharati, Saraswati, the wife of Brahma, gave him a transcendental necklace. Lord Vishnu presented him with a Sudarsana stick, and Lord Vishnu's wife, the goddess of fortune, gave him the imperishable opulences.
Brahma then offered an armor made up of the Vedas, a special armor, impenetrable armor made up of the Vedas. And Mother Saraswati offered an excellent necklace. Lord Vishnu offered him chakra. And Mother Lakshmi offered him imperishable wealth. Avyahatam Shriyam.
What is the meaning of this, Prabhuji? Protective garment made of spiritual knowledge. What does it mean?
No, this is basically armor. See, there is one physical armor made up of some iron and all. If you wear that, none of the arrows will pierce through it. It is not only a spiritual armor, it is also a mystic armor.
Okay.
In that.
Oh, it is garment, it is
Dasachandram Asim Rudra.
Dasachandram Ashim Rudra.
Shatachandram Tatambika.
Satachandram Tatambika.
Somomrutamayan Ashvam.
Somomritamayan Ashmams.
Tastvashta Rupashrayam Ratam.
Vasta Rupashrayam Ratam.
Agnir Ajagavam Chapam.
Agnir Ajagavam Chapam.
Suryo Rashmi Mayanishum.
Suryo Rashmi Mayan Ishum.
Bhupaduke Yogamayo.
Bhupaduke Yogamayo.
Dau Pushpavalim Anvaham.
Yau Pushpavalim Anvaham. Lord Shiva presented him with the sword within a sheath marked with 10 moons, and his wife, the goddess Durga, presented him with a shield marked with 100 moons. The moon demigod presented him with horses made of nectar, and the demigod Vishwakarma presented him with a very beautiful chariot. The demigod of fire Agni presented him with a bow made of the horns of goats and cows. The sun god presented him with the arrows as brilliant as sunshine. The predominating deity of Purloka presented him with slippers full of mystic power.
Lord Shiva offered a sword with
The demigods from outer space brought him presentations of flowers again and again.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. So, Lord Shiva then offered a sword with sheath, which is as bright as 10 moons. And Mother Durga offered a shield, which is as bright as 100 moons. Soma offered white horses of nectar. That means they are long living. They will not be killed in the battle. Bhuta matlab those who live long. And Vishwakarma offered him a beautiful chariot. So arcs are there, chariot is there, and sword and shield are there. He is fully equipped for fight. Shiva offered a sword with 10 moons. Durga offered a shield with 100 moons. Vishwakarma offered a beautiful chariot. And then Agni offered a bow made up of goat and cow horn. Even in Mahabharata also we see that the same Agni offered Gandiva bow to Arjuna so that Arjuna can protect Agni while Agni is eating the Pandava. So in that way. So Agni is known for giving the bow, something that is specialty. So he offered a bow made up of goat horn and cow horn, which will be very strong. The sun god offered arrows made up of light rays. So bow is there, arrow should be there. The sun god offered the arrows. The arrows will go as fast as the sun rays, something like that. And they will appear as bright as sun rays. Mother Earth offered shoes with magic power. The sky offered a stream of flowers daily. So like that. Yoga Mayo means by putting on those shoes, one could go to any desired place immediately. Prthu had a special shoes. By wearing it, if you want to go from here to there, you will go immediately. And from there to there, so like that. Easy travel by the gift of shoes given by Mother Earth. So like this. So the different devatas are offering different gifts. So let us see two more verses are there.
Okay, what is the significance of 10 moons and 100 moons?
That's what I'm saying. Na? They are as bright as 10 moons. White and bright. So you are fighting with sword and shield with a person. If they are so bright, opposite person will become blind. They can't fight, so you can defeat him and kill him easily. So like that. Natyam Sugitam Vaditram. Krishna.
Natyam Sugitam Vaditram.
Antardanam cha kechara.
Antardanam cha kechara.
Rushaya Shashisha Satya.
Rushaya Sachisha Satya.
Samudra Shankam Atmajam.
Samudra Sankam Admajam.
Sindhava Parvata Nadyo.
Sindhava Parvata Nadyo.
Rata Vitir Mahatmanaha.
Rata Vitir Mahatmanaha.
Sutotamago Vande.
Sutotamago Vandi.
Samstotum Upatastire.
Tam stotum upatastire. The demigods who always travel in outer spaces gave King Prthu the arts to perform dramas, sing songs, play musical instruments, and disappear at his will. The great sages also offered him infallible blessings. The ocean offered him a conch shell produced from the ocean. The seas, mountains, and rivers gave him room to drive his chariot without impediments, and Suta, a Magadha, and the Vandi offered prayers and praises. They all presented themselves before him to perform their respective duties.
Yeah. Those flying in the sky Kecharas offered drama, singing, music, and the power of disappearing. Basically, in the outer space resides Gandharvas, Apsaras, Kinnaras, Kimpurushaticharnitadaras. So whatever they know, that they offer to King Prthu. The sages offered the true blessings, Chiranjeevi Bhava. That blessing was offered by all the great sages. The ocean offered a conch shell, born of himself. The ocean god offered a conch shell. The seas, mountains, and rivers gave paths for the chariot of Prthu. The sea, river, and mountain, they said, whenever you come, if you want to travel, we will give you easy path so that your chariot can go easily without much difficulty. Because crossing the river, crossing the ocean, we need a bridge, and crossing the mountain, we need a tunnel. So that is not required. The mountain itself will bifurcate and give you a pathway to King Prthu. So like that. Stavakam stan abhipritya. Sorry. And then the bards approached in order to praise Prthu. Tuto, Madaga, Vande, these three category people who are there in the Darbar, they came forward to glorify Prthu, describe the wonderful qualities and activities of Prthu Maharaj. So then what happened? Stavakam stan abhipritya.
Stavakam stan abhipretya.
Prutur Vainya Pratapavan.
Prutur Vainya Pratapavan.
Mega Nirhadaya Vacha.
Mega Nirhridaya Vacha.
Prahasannidam Abravit.
Prahasannidam Abravit. Thus, when the greatly powerful King Prthu, the son of Vena, saw the professionals before him to congratulate them, he smiled. And with the gravity of vibrating sounds of clouds, he spoke as follows.
Seeing them praise him, the who? The Suta, Magadha, and Vandi, powerful Prthu, son of Vena, smiled and spoke like a thunder. Mega Gambiraya Vacha. So basically, when the Suta, Magadha, Vandi in the assembly, they began to praise the wonderful qualities and activities of Prthu Maharaj. King Prthu stopped them. Please wait. So this is my understanding. Like that, he is going to say few things. Prthu Uvacha.
Prthu Uvacha.
O Suta he Magadha. O Suta he Magadha Saumya Vandil.
O Suta he Magadha Saumya Vandil.
Loko Duna Spashta Gunasya me syat.
Loko Duna Spashta Gunasya me syat.
Kim Ashrayo me Stava Esha Yojatam.
Kim Ashrayo me Stava Esha Yojyatam.
Mamai Abhuvan Vitatagirova.
Mamaya Bhuvan Vitata Girova. King Prthu said, O gentle Suta, Magadha, and other devotee offering prayers, the qualities of which you have spoken are not distinct in me. Why then should you praise me for all these qualities when I do not shelter these features? I do not wish for these words meant for me to go in vain, but it is better that they be offered to someone else.
So, when Suta, Magadha, Vandi are glorifying the wonderful character, activities, and all of Prthu, Prthu said, no, please wait. I just appeared some time back. I just sat on the throne. I have not done even one small thing also. So how can you glorify me? As if I have done so many things. This is not appropriate. So please wait. Like that, he is going to express his humility. Prthu said, O Suta, Magadha, and Vandi, how can these praises be directed to me who have unproven qualities? That means I have not even displayed those qualities. How can you glorify me having so many wonderful qualities? As of now, I have not done anything. As of now in this world. Those words cannot be applied to me, but to others. Your word should not be false in being directed to me. So you may say, you people say that, oh, our king is so compassionate, so merciful, these things. So not anything compassionate, merciful. If I don't do, you will be accused of falsity and you will perform sin of speaking false. So it is not good for you. So better don't speak in advance, something like that. So here the discussion is, how can this praise be offered to me who have unclear qualities at this time in the world? What qualities do you see in me to praise me? As of now, you not done anything, I have not displayed any qualities. So what is there to praise about me as of now? The Sutta Magadha Vandi say, but we cannot exist without praising. Our life is, a goal is to praise the king. Without praising you, what is the point of us living? So like that the sages said, the Sutta Magadha Vandi said. Then the king responds, this should be done to someone else who has the qualities, not to me. Then glorify Swayambhu Manu, glorify Uttanapada, glorify Dhruva, glorify Anga. They had all the wonderful qualities. You glorify them. Our Purvaj ko gungan karo. Why me? Then the bots say, what fault do you have if we praise you? What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of? Anyway, you are going to display all these wonderful qualities tomorrow. So if you say today, what is the problem? Then the king says, there is no fault for me. Oh, whether I display those qualities or not, there is no problem for me. But you will incur sin for this. If you say something, if I do something else tomorrow, you are guilty of speaking lies. That is what I fear. Because of me, I don't want you to be sinful and go to Naraka. May your words not be in vain in being directed to me. Because of me, I don't want you to perform sin. That's why I'm requesting you not to speak anything about me as of now, because I have not done anything. There is nothing to speak about me. Like that, Prthu very humbly, very respectfully stopped them. Then Prthu further said,
So, who are this Sutta, Magadha, Bandhijas are different types of poets?
no, these are three different personalities. They do three different things. So one person recites Puranas, one person recites the glories of the ancestors, and one person recites the king's glories. These are three category people. They continuously reciting so that the king will be doing dharma in a proper way. It is a kind of reminder call. These three people do always reminder call. In the movies and in the dramas, you see now, when the king is coming into the assembly, some people will be saying, Raja 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 Martanda, like that. So they are Sutta Magadha Vangi. So like that. Tasmat parokshe smat upashrutanyalam.
Tasmat parokshe smat upashrutanni alam.
Karishyata shrotumapi cha vacha.
Karishyata stotram apikshya vacha.
Satyuttama shloka gunanuvade.
Satya uttama shloka gunanuvade.
Jugupsitam na stavayanti sabya.
Jugupsitam na stavayanti sabya. O gently reciters, offer such prayers in due course of time, when the qualities of which you have spoken actually manifest themselves in me. The gentle who offers prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not attribute such qualities to a human being who does not actually have them.
In the future, not as of now, not in the present, you will be able to praise me. Don't worry. If you think that your job, life's purpose is to glorify me, that anyway you can do tomorrow onwards. When I do something, then you can glorify all those things. I'm not dissuading you from doing your job. That time you can do sufficiently. O skillful bards, since the Supreme Lord's pastime should be sung, the assembly should not praise a low person like me. So, instead of glorifying me, who are glorify the Supreme Lord. His glory should be sung and his glory should be heard. Not the glories of a person like me, a low person like me. This is Prthu Maharaj's humility. The bot said, ocean of qualities, all these qualities will become manifest in you clearly in the future, knowing that only we are praising you. So, my dear king, don't worry. whatever we are saying, we understood that all these wonderful qualities are going to happen in the future in you. The Brahmanas already assured that you are going to do all these things in the future. So you don't have to worry, allow us to glorify. Then the king said, when my qualities become manifest, then you can glorify me as much as you want. But do not do the same now. Oh, yes, no problem. I do agree. But it is better you glorify after I do. I may do in the future, but it is better for you if you glorify that tomorrow. Then the bot said, who will forbid you? What? Why are you? Yes. But do it indirectly, not directly. The king responds, O persons who have skill in attractive words, it is not proper to embarrass a person by glorifying him face to face. If you think that I will be doing all these things in the future, but don't do it directly. Don't take my name and do it. Do it indirectly. It is not at all good for a person. It is not good to embrace a person like me for you by speaking about my glories in front of everyone, even when I am not done. The bot said, what should we do? Inspired by the assembly, we have begun to glorify you. The Brahmanas have inspired us to glorify you. So we started, and you are saying no, then what we can do? And the king said, that is useless. Don't think like that. The pastimes of the Lord should be chanted at all times and all places. There is no depth of subject matter to think of to glorify. Thus, you should not praise a low person like me, low and recent person like me. Instead, you should glorify the Supreme Lord. If you continue to glorify me, it is not a worthy assembly. This is a assembly of people who praise each other. So like that. So these verses express the humility and wonderful nature of Prthu Maharaj. Then he further continues. Mahadgunanatmani kartumisha
महद्गुणानात्मनि कर्तुम् ईशा
Vastavakai stavayate satopi
स्तावकै स्तवयते सतोऽपि
Tesyabavishan iti vipralabdo
तेष्या भविष्यान् इति विप्रलब्धो
jnanavahasam kumaterna veda.
ज्ञानावकाशं कुमतेर्न वेद. How could an intelligent man, competent enough to possess such exalted qualities, allow his followers to praise him if he did not actually have them? Praising a man by saying that if he were educated, he might have become a great scholar or great personality is nothing but a process of cheating. A foolish person who agrees to accept such praise does not know that such words simply insult him.
Yeah. What person who had the qualities of the Lord would have others praise him? What to speak of a person who does not have the qualities? The fool does not understand that he is the butt of a joke, mocked by the promise of having such qualities in the future. Prthu Maharaj says that, so that the bot said, oh my dear Lord, you are actually the Supreme Lord, worthy of praise. Just now Brahma and other great sages, Bhrigu, etc. have concluded that you are an expansion of Lord Vishnu, so you are fit candidate. But when, as you said that the Supreme Lord should be praised, you are the expression of Supreme Lord, so you should be praised. So that's why they said. Then La King said, though it is possible for the best person to manifest in himself the qualities of the Lord, which wise person would make others glorify him? Yes, in a gentleman, we may see some of the godly qualities, but no gentleman allow anybody to glorify him, especially in front of him. Because he's gentleman, he never want to hear his own glories. No one would do that, even if he had the qualities. A person who has all the godly qualities never. Then what to speak of a person who does not have qualities? How does he want to hear? If he does not have the qualities and cannot manifest such qualities, only a fool would have others praise him. A person who has qualities never want to be glorified by others. Then what to? Then how much you should be careful. Does not have qualities. How can he honor someone else? Only a foolish person, selfishly ambitious person will glorify that person. The fool does not know that it is an insult. Glorifying such a person prematurely, it is actually an insult, but the fool does not understand it. So you people want to make me a fool? It's like that Prthu Maharaj is saying. So the sage, the bot said, how? Oh, my dear Lord, don't think like that. By words like, if he had studied, if he had studied hearts and scripture, he would have been a great scholar. If somebody says that, if he had gone to IIT, he would have become a great scientist. So, matlab what? He is not qualified to go to IIT, so he is not qualified to become scientist. How can you say that you had gone to IIT, you will become scientist? It is simply an insult. It is indirectly speaking. So, in that way. So, like that, King Prthu kind of dissuading the gods from glorifying him prematurely before he could do anything, and he does not want them to say anything about his activities. So last two verses of this chapter, just we conclude, all the time over. Prabhavo hi atmano shrotram stotram jugupsanti api vishruta Srimanta paramodara Purusham va vigarhitam Vayam tu avidita loke Sutadyapi varimabi Karmabi katamatmanam Gapayishyama bhalavat Mataji, I will read. I will read. Persons famous for good qualities who are modest and generous detest praise of themselves if it were criticism of their abilities. So basically, a gentleman people never want to hear their own glories, whether they have performed or not. Even if they have performed, then what to speak of hearing their own glories which they have not performed? That is not at all acceptable to them. People who have good qualities and who enjoy being praised are not seen. We don't see anywhere that gentlemen want to hear their own glories. That will never see, it never happens. Praise like this person is so qualified, he doesn't have to follow the rules of Dharma. He is rejected as censoring their abilities. If somebody is following Adharma, in order to remind him, the glorifiers may say that this person is so great that he don't have to follow Dharma. So it is actually indirectly an instruction is given to them. So like that, if somebody says that he will do this, he will do that, that means you are insisting that he should do this. That is not at all proper. It is not at all appropriate. So like that. Oh praisers, I am not famous for excellent activities in this world. Like a fool, how can I engage others in praising me for those actions? Out of his humility, he says that I am not famous all these performing of all these wonderful activities. So as of now, I not done anything. Just stop there. Don't do anything further. I am not famous for performing excellent actions. So how can I engage others in glorifying me and my actions? अभी तक कुछ किया नहीं, आप कैसे बोल सकते मैं ये सब किया करके? That is not at all good. It is as good. I'm employing people to unnecessarily glorify that I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. Something like that. That Poundraka would do this. Poundraka had boys who would glorify him that you are the real Vasudeva, you are the real Chakradari, Sankadari, you are real Bhagavan, this, that. Every now and then he would hear so much, and he would think that I am the real Bhagavan. So like that. So that is the danger. So like that, he stopped it. And what happened afterwards? We get to see in the next class, in the next chapter. Let us discuss that after. So today we'll stop here. Sorry, late again. But thank you very much for joining on this Sunday, hot Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandapani. I hope there are no questions. Anybody has any question?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much to each and everyone. Thank you for joining. Hare